let me go through my story of my experience on Keppra. So, I had a seizure in class on January 14th, 2020, and I was taken to the emergency room, and I was diagnosed with epilepsy, and I was immediately prescribed levetiracetam, taken to be taken 1,000 milligrams a day, 500 milligrams twice a day, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. So I was like, okay, I was hopeful. I was like, sure, I'll do it. Why not? I looked at the medication guide, and it said, obviously it said there would be an increased risk of suicide, but I was like, I'm not going to commit suicide. I'm not like that. And I was like, the worst I can do, because, the medication guide made it seem like the most likely side effect you would experience would be dizziness or drowsiness. And I was like, okay, I can handle that. That's fine, sure. So I started taking levetiracetam as prescribed, 2 tabs of 500 milligrams twice a day. I did that all throughout January, all throughout February, and then halfway through March, without any complications at all, no side effects whatsoever. I was fine. I didn't feel any side effects at all. I thought, wow, this is easy, But then everything started going really, really bad near the end of March, starting near the middle, towards like, I don't know, March 15th or 16th, if I remember correctly. I remember getting really bad. And this was like the first side effect I noticed. I remember getting really bad anxiety whenever I would smoke weed. And I was like, this is weird. Because I'm no stranger to smoking weed. And, when I had smoked weed, every single time before that, it was like, no problems, no anxiety at all. But I shrugged it off, and I was like, okay, this is probably just a one-off thing. I probably just had a bad high. I won't stop smoking, and I won't stop taking my medicine, because I'm a man, and that's what men do. They power through shit. So, like a week later, if I remember correctly, it's the 24th of March. I was at my apartment, and I was smoking some weed out of a bong, taking some bong rips before bed. And I remember, smoking until I was stoned, going to bed. And as soon as I laid down to go to bed, like all these rapid thoughts just started. It was like insomnia, basically, but the thoughts were like really bizarre and kind of made me uncomfortable. They were just like weird thoughts, like I had no experience with before. And then I started getting anxious because I was worried about it. I was like, this is kind of concerning. And then, my heart started beating really quick, and that made my anxiety like skyrocket. And I started like having a panic attack, and holy shit, man, it was one of the worst experiences of my life, and it made me really scared. Really scared. Oh, and another thing about that night was that I saw like psychedelic geometry off when I was laying down in bed, when I was experiencing, the thoughts and the anxiety. And that scared me too, because it was kind of like menacing, like geometry that made you uncomfortable. Like you could tell it was like evil geometry, and it really scared me. And I told all my friends about it. And I was like, man, this has got to be from the weed, this has got to be from the weed. Because from my perspective, it couldn't have been the Levi-Trace because medicine is supposed to help you. It's not supposed to make you, see things and have anxiety and panic attacks and not be able to enjoy yourself. And I just didn't want to think it was that. So it was stupid of me, but I continued smoking even after that experience. I was still smoking. I would still get anxiety when I was high, but I kind of just shrugged it off and put it on the side and just pushed through it. And I never really had another experience as bad as that again. So fast forward to like the start of April, and that's when the side effects were still continuing. I was still having anxiety and mood swings and stuff like that. And mainly, I still thought it was because of the weed. So, these side effects were continuing, and I was getting progressively more and more concerned, to the point where I actually decided to go on a tolerance break from weed towards the end of April, because I was like, it's gotta be the weed, man. It's gotta be the weed. So I stopped smoking weed and continued doing, Keppra or Levi-Trace a gram a day. And I took a 6-day tolerance break, and I felt better. So I was like, okay, this is the weed then. And then, after 6 days, I was like, okay, this is probably good. I'll probably reset myself. So I started smoking again, and it was fine for a little bit. And then this is now we're in like May, early May, and I still, I'm taking this Levi-Trace and still smoking. And then one day, I think it was like, I don't know, it was definitely like early May. We were watching The Legacy of the White-tailed Deer Hunter on Netflix, me and my friends. It's so weird to me to explain, but it's like I got severe anxiety from that movie because there were guns in it. Just because there were guns, and it was like, this is strange. What, why am I getting anxiety from looking at guns? Because they were making me nervous. Because I was thinking, like, guns can kill people, and that made me nervous. And again, even though this was a very uncomfortable experience, I continued using Keppra, using Levi-Trace, or using weed. And then, and this would happen like occasionally. I remember it happening, something similar happening when I was watching Ex Machina, that movie about the robot AI and that guy's house, like the nice house, that independent movie. It was really good. It was a good movie. But I remember getting really scared of it. Like, I was really freaked out from the AI, from the robot AI, and I was like, I was genuinely freaked out and like anxious from watching the AI, like the robot in the movie, talk and like walk. I was like, holy shit, okay, this is strange as fuck, And it was at that point I was like, okay, there's definitely something wrong with me. So I started, looking into uh, the side effects of levetiracetam. I had never done this before. I had never looked into the side effects, and I started reading the side effects on like drugs.com or something. And holy shit, man, all of the side effects listed on drugs.com matched my side effects, and I was like, oh my god. And then I looked at the user reviews, and I was like, oh my god, these people are suffering just like I am, and I have the same side effects as they do. And I was at that moment, it was like, holy shit, man, everything just clicked, and I was like, I need to get off levetiracetam immediately. So it was like the next day, I was like, I'm gonna taper myself off this shit. So I was still at a gram a day. I went down to 500 milligrams a day for a week, and then I went down to 250 milligrams a day for a week, and then I went completely off it for 2 days, and then I had a seizure. So they put me back on levetiracetam, and again I was like, fine, whatever, I'll take it, because I guess it controls my seizures, and seizures are more important, or seizure control is more important than having like anxiety and like you know side effects like that. So I started taking it again, and then um, something like a week into starting levetiracetam again, 1,000 milligrams a day, I started getting suicidal thoughts, like compulsive suicidal thoughts that I had never had before in my life. And these thoughts really, really scared me. Extremely bad. I was absolutely terrified of myself. I didn't know what to do. I was afraid for my own safety. And then I finally told my parents about it, and they suggested I get off the drug. And I'm on day 13 of my taper right now. I'm on 500 milligrams a day right now, and tomorrow I'm going to lower it down even more to 250 milligrams. And yeah, hopefully I can successfully get off this horrible medicine once and for all. Wish me luck, guys. Peace.